Hi friends, once again I welcome all of you to the annual refresher program in teaching commerce named Financial Markets and Emerging Business Models offered by the UGC-MMTTC University of Kerala. We were dealing with cryptocurrencies in the previous module. In continuation to that module, the current module 3.4 covers the regulatory aspects of cryptocurrencies. In addition, some of the fintech innovations such as smart contracts, initial coin offers, RoboAdvisors and E-Aggregation would also be dealt with in this module 3.4. I am Dr. Santosh Kumar, Professor of Finance, School of Management Studies, Cochin University of Science and Technology, Kerala. First of all, we would be looking into the regulation of cryptocurrencies. The international authorities as well as the central authorities of different nations formed different approaches towards regulation of cryptocurrencies or virtual assets. International authorities like the Financial Action Task Force, International Monetary Fund, World Bank and Financial Stability Board have made their regulatory stance regarding the cryptocurrency. Let us see some of the relevant aspects in this regard. The Financial Action Task Force, the intergovernmental body established to set standards and promote effective implementation of legal, regulatory and operational measures for combating money laundering, terrorist financing and other related threats to the international financial system, has its regulatory focus on virtual currencies providers. It is setting out more detailed implementation requirements for effective regulation and supervision or monitoring of virtual asset service providers to adequately mitigate the money laundering or financing of terrorism risks associated with virtual asset activities. It has published a document named Guidance for a Risk-Based Approach to Virtual Currencies as a regulatory and supervisory advice to national authorities to control activities relating to cryptocurrencies. The International Monetary Fund, which works to secure financial stability as well as international trade, considers cryptocurrency as an algorithm-made value coins which manages its value as well as money supply based on its own underlying algorithm. In its staff report on measuring the digital economy, IMF claims that Bitcoin-like crypto assets do not qualify as money in the current monetary and financial statistics framework. Noticeably, the report on treatment of crypto assets in macroeconomic statistics by IMF Committee on Balance of Payment Statistics proposes to classify Bitcoin-like crypto assets as non-financial assets. The Basel Committee on Banking Supervision, BCBF, formed to enhance financial stability by improving the quality of banking supervision worldwide, has come up with the initiatives for developing high-level supervisory expectations for banks engaging in crypto asset activities. It also initiates steps to monitor developments related to crypto assets by quantifying banks' direct and indirect exposures to such assets, and also by clarifying the prudential treatment of banks' exposures to crypto assets. The Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructures (CPMI), the international standard setter that promotes, monitors and makes recommendations about the safety and efficiency of payment, clearing and settlement, has its own recommendations regarding regulation of cryptocurrencies. It is on the stand that digital currencies and its underlying technology blockchain can make a high impact on the central banks as well as the financial system all over the world. It also stated that cryptocurrencies are not denominated in a sovereign currency and they do not represent a claim on an issuer. The Financial Stability Board, the international body that monitors and makes recommendation about the global financial system, has also come up with the opinion that the risk posed by the cryptocurrency did not affect the global financial stability. However, it gives a warning that if the cryptocurrencies emerge as a widely accepted payment worldwide, this could change the situation. Financial Stability Board also published a directory of regulators of crypto assets to provide information related to different regulators and other authorities dealing in cryptocurrencies. Coming to the regulatory aspects in India, the Reserve Bank of India has instituted a banking ban on cryptocurrencies. Such a ban restricts banks and other financial institutions coming under the umbrella of RBI to transfer money to the accounts of crypto exchanges. Recommendations for banning cryptocurrencies were also there with the authorities in India. I recommend more readings on this area from the report of the committee to propose specific actions to be taken in relation to cryptocurrencies by the Department of Economic Affairs, Ministry of Finance. So my dialogues on cryptocurrencies end here. Now let us come to another fintech innovation, the smart contracts. The blockchain technology, which we discussed in the previous two modules, has many interesting applications beyond cryptocurrencies. One of the most exciting applications is that it can make smart contracts. What does a smart contract mean? A smart contract is a digital agreement that executes automatically when certain conditions are met. In simple terms, it is like a vending machine. If you want a bottle of water, you insert the correct money and the machine releases your drink. If you don't put in enough money, the vending machine doesn't work. This is the basic premise of a smart contract. It will only execute when all the coded agreements are met. More specifically, smart contracts are blockchain technology enabled programmable contracts that automatically execute when predefined conditions are met. The software based protocols of the contract facilitates, verify and enforce the performance of a contract. The aim of smart contracts is to provide security that is superior to the traditional contract law and reduce other transaction costs that are associated with contracting. Smart contracts help you exchange money, property, shares, or anything of value in a transparent, conflict-free way while avoiding the services of a middleman. I can tell you another example of a smart contract. Assume that you leased an apartment from me. You can do this through the blockchain by paying in cryptocurrency. When you pay initially as agreed upon, you get a receipt which is held in our virtual contract. On making the initial payment, I give you the digital entry key which comes to you by a specified date. If the key doesn't come on time, the blockchain releases a refund. If I send the key before the rental date, the function holds it, releasing both the fee and key to you and me respectively when the date arrives. It means that the system works on the if-then premise and is witnessed by hundreds of people, so you can expect a faultless delivery. If I give you the key, I am sure to be paid. The document is automatically cancelled after the time. If you check the history of smart contracts, sometimes you may be taken to 1990s. However, the development of blockchain technology actually led to the present form of smart contracts, which are being constructed as computer programs running on blockchain nodes. Smart contracts inherit properties of underlying blockchains, which include an immutable record of data and the ability to mitigate single points of failure. Evidently, the second generation cryptocurrency Ethereum revolutionized the use of smart contracts. Unlike traditional paper contracts that rely on middlemen and third-party intermediaries for execution, smart contracts automate contractual procedures, minimize interactions between parties, and reduce administration costs. In brief, a smart contract is a self-executing contract with the terms of the agreement between the parties written into a lines of code. The code and the agreements contained therein exist across a distributed, decentralized blockchain network. The code controls the execution and transactions are trackable and irreversible. Smart contracts have applications in almost all fields such as healthcare, banking, insurance, supply chain, governance, and so on. I leave that part for your further readings. Coming to the legality of smart contracts, we can see that in 1999, around 47 states in the US adopted the Uniform Electronic Transactions Act UETA. The UETA placed regulations with regard to electronic contracts, records, and signatures, and stated that electronic contracts would be valid and the use of an electronic signature was a valid method for providing consent for contracts. Later, in 2017, various states in the US saw the need to make special regulations for the adoption of smart contracts on a large scale. Thus, some states have passed laws recognizing the signatures provided for smart contracts using the blockchain technology. Furthermore, some other states passed laws recognizing contracts executed on the blockchain, thereby giving specific recognition to smart contracts. Laws are also passed to allow smart contracts to be used as a form of evidence if a dispute arises. Regarding India, numerous amendments were made to the Indian Evidence Act 1872 to include provisions for the admissibility of electronic records, signatures and agreements. The amended provisions of the Act states that electronic agreements would be considered as a valid agreement only if it is authenticated using an electronic signature. However, it must be obtained in accordance with the provisions of the Information Technology Act. We have enacted the Information Technology Act, which is very similar to the above said UETA of US. While the Information Technology Act allows contracts or records to be validated or authenticated by using electronic signatures, it has placed some conditions on how one can obtain a digital signature. Under Section 35 of the Information Technology Act, a digital signature can be obtained only from a government designated certifying authority. This would be the first point of concern for a smart contract, because to validate a smart contract, it is the blockchain technology that generates the digital signature to be used as an individual identifier or authenticator. This may disallow such contracts to be submitted as evidence in front of a court. Let me conclude the discussions on smart contracts. Smart contracts are gaining popularity in both public and private domains. If smart contracts can be made to work with enhanced security, legality and flexibility, we can foresee a wider adoption of smart contracts. Initial coin offers are another important fintech innovation we must discuss. Initial coin offers are used by startups to bypass the rigorous and regulated capital raising process required by venture capitalists or banks. It is a popular fundraising method used primarily by startups wishing to offer products and services that are related to cryptocurrency and blockchain space. Let us see how it works. When a startup, usually a startup related to cryptocurrency or blockchain, wants to raise money through initial coin offers, it creates a white paper which outlines all about the project, the need for the project, how much money is needed, how many of the virtual tokens the founders will keep, what type of money will be accepted, and how long the initial coin offer campaign will run for, and so on. During the ICO campaign, supporters of the project buy some of the project's tokens with fiat or digital currencies. These coins are referred to as tokens and are similar to shares of a company sold to investors in an IPO. If the money raised does not meet the minimum fund required by the firm, the money may be returned to the supporters and the ICO is deemed unsuccessful. If the funding requirements are met within the specified time frame, the money raised is used to pursue the goals of the project. How do you differentiate IPO and ICO? While IPOs deal purely with investors, ICOs may deal with supporters that are taken to invest in new projects which are more risky in nature. ICOs are largely unregulated in the sense that government organizations like the Securities Exchange Commission or Securities Exchange Board of India do not oversee them. Later, if the startups financed through ICOs flourish and based on their valuations, these coins get demand and convertibility as these coins acknowledge the stake in the companies. Again, I invite your attention to another important fintech innovation, RoboAdvisor. We are very much familiar with investment consultants and financial advisors. Normally, we do consult those advisors in person for our different needs by visiting them in person. However, the RoboAdvisors make your consulting more efficient and less costly. So, who are RoboAdvisors? RoboAdvisors are financial advisors who provide financial advice or portfolio management online with minimal human intervention. They provide digital financial advice based on mathematical rules or algorithms. The basic idea behind RoboAdvisor is that software is more accurate and less biased than traditional advisors. In a broader sense, RoboAdvisors are self-guided online wealth management service that provides automated investment advice at low cost, employing portfolio management algorithms. RoboAdvisors are also known by the names Automated Investment Advisor, Automated Investment Management, or Digital Advice Platforms. How do we seek advice? Simple. If you want investment advice, you register an account with RoboAdvisors firm and transfer money. Then you provide your input on risk and investment preferences. Then the RoboAdvisor software suggests investment options to meet your needs. You select the option to invest in, the RoboAdvisors makes the investments. The RoboAdvisor performs regular portfolio maintenance tasks also. These are the main steps involved to operate a RoboAdvisor. RoboAdvisors are less costly and speedy than the traditional advisors. No matter the amount of wealth involved or the multiplicity of investor preferences, the RoboAdvisors could manage. 24/7 accessibility and transparency are the other advantages of RoboAdvisors. It can offer more investor choices, especially for low and middle income investors who do not have access to the wealth management firms. E-Aggregation is another innovation which provides internet-based venues for retail customers to compare the prices and features of a range of financial and non-financial products such as standardized insurance, mortgages, and deposit products. There can also be firms that provide services that allow users to aggregate and analyze their data on their payment patterns and across separate accounts and products. E-aggregators also provide an easy way to switch between providers and may become a major distributor for variety of financial products. Friends, I have covered the important fintech innovations in the previous two modules. I close this module here. Thank you for watching the module. Best of luck.